And when you moved into the not-for-profit space, what do you feel? And in your first few roles, what do you feel the purpose is aligned or misaligned?
Yeah, so my CEO role currently is the first actual paid NFP job I've had. So I was a long time in private sector, some government, and then private sector again. But I had spent a lot of time, the first 10 years that I was in Australia, doing a lot of NFP work in a volunteer capacity and a board capacity. So I felt very aligned to that. And in fact, the organisation where I'm now CEO, I had worked with the board for a year, pro bono, helping them with strategic planning. So I was already connected. I was enjoying the work, and strategic planning is a lot of what a CEO does anyway.
Yeah.
So it was my first NFP job, my first CEO job, and I took it because I felt thoroughly aligned with what they were doing, and I was spending increasing amounts of my non-paid work time pursuing those goals. So, happy match, really.
And has Rise gone through a culture change or a value realignment across your tenure?
Oh, absolutely, it has. Culture changes the whole time. We're always striving for what we believe is an improved culture, but what one person thinks is a good culture is not what another person thinks is a good culture. So it's continuing to refine, but we are all about empowerment, honesty, transparency, integrity, optimism, and welcoming. So those are the things we see our staff exhibit and we want to follow. So that culture is there. And in terms of values as well, and culture alignment and purpose, our organisation follows also what community sentiment is. So sometimes it tries to drive community sentiment and change. Please feel differently about people with disability. They deserve equal rights and opportunities, hence the NDIS come into being. And sometimes we follow emerging community sentiments, increasing desire to do something about climate change. So we're a leader and a follower. We try to match with where the community's at and take advantage of that so that our community purpose, we hope increasingly aligns with our organisational purpose.
And as you work in different sectors of the community, how does your organisational purpose aligns with the sectoral purpose of those? Because every sector will have a disability as a sector works on a different value systems, whereas aged care system works a different value system.
That's right.
Domestic violence works on different value systems. So how does that multi-sector value system or purpose aligns with your one organizational purpose?
So I think there are some fundamentals which I think like human rights, dignity of risk. So everyone should have the ability to take appropriate risks and the dignity of trying something, getting it wrong, like we all do. So we are sort of moving from a more paternalistic, we'll do things for you, we'll look after you, we'll protect you, to we will support you to make foolish choices. Just as I'm able to make 1 million foolish choices a day, you should also be allowed to make foolish choices. But that balance of also there is some safeguarding and quality that we are obliged to and should provide. So I think what we're seeing is whether regardless if it's someone in aged care or someone with disability or someone escaping family and domestic violence, it's supporting them to do what's right for them. It's personalised support, but it does scale up and down as to making sure we've all seen the Four Corners programs where you've also
aged care one.
Aged care. Thanks, Dev. You've got to strive really hard to ensure that vulnerable people aren't abused and neglected. So it's not a good purpose is not just an absence of abuse and neglect. Like good health is not just an absence of illness. It's about also filling that void and creating really positive opportunities for people to thrive, not just to be not unsafe. A lot of double negatives in that sentence.
Yeah.
Pick your way through that later. So if you know what I mean, because I didn't.
I think people get the sentiment of it.